Logisim Subcircuits. Logisim allows us to create and use subcircuits. This is like being able to put together statements in a programming language and put them in an operation, method, or function. This allows us essentially the same advantages. We can create an abstraction, figuring out the details of how to do something, then hiding the details so we can focus on bigger problems, and reusability, taking something and using it over and over again without having to reconstruct it. Using subcircuits in Logisim is simple once one has seen the operations involved. Creating the subcircuit canvas. We need to create a canvas on which we are going to draw our subcircuit. The easiest way to do this is to select the plus sign in the toolbar. A pop-up window will appear prompting you for a circuit name. Enter the name you want, let's choose and/or, and hit OK. You will see a line appear underneath the main circuit in the components area of the window, drawing your subcircuit. Select the subcircuit and you will get another blank canvas. This is where we'll draw our subcircuit. Let's add and wire up an AND gate and an OR gate as we did in the previous tutorial. A quick way to add pins is to select the pin icons in the toolbar. These pins are pretty much set up how we'd like them to be. So we'll add 3 input and 1 output pins. Then we'll wire them up. Now we have a simple subcircuit. Editing the subcircuit appearance. Now we want to edit how the subcircuit will appear when we instantiate it, use it, in another circuit. I found the default appearance to be inappropriate most of the time. So right-click on the subcircuit in the components list and select Edit Circuit Appearance. Now you'll get a small black rectangle with some blue shapes around it. Select the black rectangle, drag it further onto the canvas and enlarge it to the size you'd like it to be in the circuits where you'll use it. Notice some things have been left behind. The blue squares represent input pins and the circles output pins. Select an input pin. Immediately after you select the input pin, a thumbnail of the circuit appears with the input you've selected highlighted. Now drag it to the edge of the subcircuit in the place where you'd like it to be. Do the same for each of the other pins. Notice that when you try to select the output pin, instead you select a green circle with a line in it. This is the anchor point, which will be used when you drag the subcircuit, and the point about which it will revolve if you change the direction of the subcircuit. I usually place this in the center of the subcircuit. Finally, you're left with a small black V. I think this is meant to represent the notch you find in real integrated circuits, which tells you which way round they are. Drag this and drop it to the top center. Now you're ready to use your circuit in another design using your subcircuit. Select the main circuit in the components pane. You will need to double click. You'll get the empty canvas for that circuit. Now select the and/or subcircuit, just one click, and drag it onto the canvas. Place it somewhere. Now let's drag on another and/or subcircuit to show we can use it more than once. Notice the little blue tabs where you've placed inputs and outputs. You will have to remember which input or output is where. If you need to, you can go back to the circuit appearance canvas to remind yourself. Let's put some pins on this circuit and wire everything up. Now we're ready to test out your circuit using the poke tool. Conclusion. We've seen how to create a subcircuit in Logisim. We've seen that drawing the circuit is exactly the same as drawing it on the main canvas, but that you can edit how the subcircuit will appear in circuits that use it. The appearance canvas is pretty self-evident. All we need to remember is where the various input and output pins are. Once we've created a subcircuit, we can create instances of it in pretty much exactly the same way as if we were using regular built-in components, providing we can remember which pin does what.